Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to It Was Merely a Setback versus Magmaw from Blackwing Descent. My name is Boogerfinger, I'm one of the main tanks in the guild and I'm also one of the raid leaders. I'm going to share with you our strategy that we've utilized against this boss tonight. Magmaw is a giant worm, as you can see. Positioning is fairly simple on this boss, as the melee will essentially never have to move on this particular fight. The tank should be positioned in such a way on the left hand panel where I am swinging my hammer right there. You'll also see some circles on the right hand side. The rest of the raid is positioned there. In the back of the room you'll see some parasites and a frost trap, which we'll review here shortly. In that part we have one hunter and the off tank. The initial phase in here will last about a minute to a minute and a half before he ends up swallowing the tank, so I'll go over some of his abilities here. First thing he does is he's going to do a lot of AoE damage. As you can see, I have different meters running that'll demonstrate the amount of damage that this boss can do. It's really fairly sustained. The AoE damage is somewhat predictable. However, he can be a little spiky on the boss, especially when he swallows. Second major ability that will make or break the fight is his Lava Spout ability. When he uses Lava Spout, he'll spawn about 10 parasites. These parasites need to be kited around, chased around, and basically killed before they touch anyone, or else they will infect them. If you get infected, you'll create another parasite, and you'll do about 40,000 AoE damage to the raid. If you notice now, I just got swallowed by the boss. I am taking a lot of damage, so I blew all of my defensive cooldowns. He's going to hit me for about 100,000 every 2 seconds, mitigated by armor. Now keep in mind, this damage is constant and it's severe. To melee need to compensate for this by jumping on top of him, using chains on his mouth, and then he's chained down for a period of time in which he'll take double damage on the head. At this particular point in time, it's imperative that any healer regenerates mana. As you can see, no one is taking damage in this phase. All the parasites are down. The only difference is now I have a debuff which reduces my armor by 50%. The tank that was originally back with the hunter is now up front taking the boss, and I am in the back with the hunter waiting on the first lava spout. As you can see here, there's the lava spout. I dropped a consecration, and there are the parasites. I'm going to pick up as much threat as I can on the parasites and try to kite them around, just building threat and ping-ponging them with the hunter and keeping them on the frost trap. That way our AoE can do as much damage to them as possible. The raid will stay stationary the entire time. No raid member is required to move with the exception of me and the hunter. It's important that these worms die as quickly as possible, as he will do his lava spout quite frequently, about every 15 seconds or so. So you see just there, he did a steam blast across half the room. This is easily dealt with. All you need to do is simply move away from it and then move back into your position if you're in the side where the rest of the raid is. Now the second tank just got swallowed, so what he's going to do is as soon as he gets spat out, the boss will take double damage. Rinse, repeat, so on and so forth. Another important thing too is, at least in this version of him, this early version of him, he's a little buggy, and he'll melee before he actually fully stands up. So our clothies are running out as soon as this thing goes down, just a little bit out of his range, and they're running back in as soon as they can. Everyone's in melee range because it's imperative to control where the flame pillar gets spawned at. That's where the parasites go. You only hit someone that's within outside of 15 yards. So by having the hunter and our tank at the same spot every single time, we can control it and have the parasites be spawned at the same spot every single time. This is a controlled encounter, and with a little bit of luck and a little bit of patience, no one will die. As you can see right now, his mangle cooldown is a lot shorter than what it was when I initially tanked it. So at this point in time, it's not as much about DPSing the boss as it is about killing the worms. I'm swallowed, as you can see. I popped all my defensive cooldowns, everything I had, and I'm dealing damage to the head. This boss does have a 10-minute enrage timer. There is no real soft enrage. It is a hard enrage, so If you do get past the 10-minute mark, it will be a wipe. Chains are on the boss. Boss will spit me out. One thing of note too is that it's important that the tank gets out of there as quickly as you can by the melee, using the chains on him. If you do not get out of there within a set amount of time, you'll die. You'll just get mangled to death and you'll die. You get no healing, you can do anything about it. In this particular transition, we had parasites spawn as soon as the boss went down. Parasites need to take priority before anything else on this boss. So as you can see, the ranged are focusing on the parasites while dealing with the boss itself. A little proximity aggro, AoE damage, dots, anything like that, but if there are parasites up, they do need to be dealt with in an appropriate manner. And there's our lava spout. As you can see, I just got the infection. I got a little too close to one, so I ingested a parasite. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I don't hit anyone with it. So there it is. I was away from everyone else. I threw up. The parasite is now out of my body. There's the steam. And now the head is taking double damage. Time Warp is now out because his head is taking double damage and we're within execute range basically. So at this point it becomes a matter of burning and control. I will be the next tank on this boss, so I'm positioning myself and tab targeting while spamming taunt as quickly as I can, because like I said, he's going to melee someone on the way up. See that spike damage on someone in the raid, that was a shaman. Not a whole lot you can do about that, it's just one of those bugs that you have to deal with on this encounter. So now we're resuming the head phase. Parasites are dealt with just as they were before. Our hunter is using Frost Trap, and our other tank who just got spat out is using the hunter to ping-pong the parasites away from the raid. At no time should the parasites be anywhere near the raid, and at no time should the raid be affected by flame pillars. Those are the two most critical components of the raid. Outside of having high AoE damage, as a result, this is not a very melee-friendly encounter. About to be swallowed for the last time here. As you notice, I'm going to hit fairly hard because it is within execute range. Melee on the back, you can see both chains are attached to him. If both chains are not attached to him in a timely manner, he will break free from the chains, and that will probably spell death for the tank. We're basically ignoring the parasites, and the boss is dead. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for watching this edition of Magmaw